Hey gang, so a couple months ago, my blog was dead. I was on the verge of making the decision whether I was going to shut it down, sell it, or just let it sort of die a natural death. And that made me really sad. And so, let's about mid September, I got to thinking, busy season is coming. I have this amazing resource for generating revenue, and it's just sitting there and it's doing nothing. So why not try to revive it? So that is what I did in October. So I was able to take it to over 60,000 page views and almost $2,000 in ad revenue in just 30 days. So stick around. I'm going to tell you how I did that. If you have a blog that's getting, less than 10,000 page views a month, let's talk about how you can generate more traffic and more revenue from that blog. All right. So my name is Pam Grice. Thank you for being here. We are doing another episode of Crochet Business Chat. I am the Crochetpreneur. I'm on a mission to help 100,000 makers build financial freedom through crochet. If that is you, if you are a crochet business owner or you want to be one, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm here every Monday morning with this podcast, as well as other places with other things. And I'd love you to follow along. And if you're watching live, be sure to like and share this video and comment. Tell us where you're from. Tell us why you're here. Tell us about your current blog situation. What's your monthly traffic looking like right now as we, are starting to tiptoe into the busiest season of the year? All right. Why I decided to revive my blog. Again, like I said, my heart is in this blog. I started it in 2017. It was my first blog and so fun to build and connect with my audience there and share patterns. And so while I have focused most of my time on business coaching, that site kind of just sat there and drove sort of passive traffic and brought in a couple $100 a month in ad revenue. So it was enough to pay people to do my Pinterest for me and to just sort of manage the blog behind the scenes, but it wasn't really growing or doing anything because I wasn't creating content. So, so I decided we're going to do something. All right. So right now, while our RPMs are sort of on the rise, I decided let's get some traffic and let's, what's the word? I don't know. Let's take advantage of this season and make it worthwhile. So why do crocheters have a blog in the first place? Let's just talk about why I recommend, especially if you're a designer, but if you're a physical product seller as well, I think a blog is a great place for you. It provides a landing space online where people can get to know about you, see that you're a real person in a world of so many spam sites and AI sites. You get to show I'm a real person. I have real stories. I have real photos of me. You can contact me if you want to. You can show people that you're real, and that's a real benefit right now in this kind of crazy world that we're living in. It allows you to serve your audience. It allows you to say, what is my audience looking for and how can I create content that speaks to them and then turns them into customers, right? You can get people on your email list. You can nurture those relationships. You can create printables and opt-ins, and you can get on an ad network and generate ad revenue, all of those kinds of things. So I really do recommend building a blog. All right. So a blog is a long-term brand asset that you can use to, speak to your expertise, create authority, connect with your audience, and again, generate revenue. So what are the 5 things that I did to revive my blog? All right. Like I said, I went from about 8,000 page views a month to over 60,000 page views in a month with these 5 strategies. All right. The first one, And sorry if I keep darting my eyes around. My husband is decorating for Christmas outside and he's distracting me. And I do have my notes right here that I'm checking in on. So, all right. First one, I created and followed a content schedule. So I decided I was doing nothing before. What could I do now to really revive and re-energize the blog? So I decided to do at least 2 blog posts a week. Now, one of those had to be new content, and one of them had could be revived old content. So I designed new patterns, or I took whips that have been sitting around for years and turned them into patterns. And for the old content, I updated the old content with new branding, new keywords, things like that to revive old content. All right, so that was it. One new piece of content, one revived old piece of content a week. All right. And then a simple optimization for Google Discover. You could get in the weeds of trying to optimize your website and your blog posts for Google Discover. But the things that I did, simple things that weren't going to take me a lot of time, were I ensured I had high quality photos and graphics. I ensured I had engaging content that I knew my audience was looking for. My photos were at least 1,200 pixels wide. Google Discover, if they're going to share your content, is looking for images that are at least 1,200 pixels wide. And I was sharing smaller photos in my older content because I wanted smaller file size. But that precluded me from being shared on Google Discover. Now, Google Discover has driven most of the traffic that I had last month. So getting on Google Discover is magical. All right. And then creating engaging headlines or headings as you're writing your blog posts rather than, boring headers. Be sure they're SEO optimized and be sure they're engaging. All right. Simple Google Discover tips. What is Google Discover if you don't already know? Google Discover is a personalized feed on mobile. So if you have a mobile device and you pull up the Google app, you'll see below several news articles or several blog posts being added to your feed. And these are all customized based on your interests, your previous searches. It shows articles, videos, and other things based on your interest in your browsing history. And so that works for everybody who has a cell phone. So if they have the Google app and they open it up and they love crochet, your crochet content could be shared to their newsfeed. And so it's free advertising. So optimizing your blog posts for Google Discover is going to be super helpful. Now, I can't guarantee that they're going to pick up your blog posts. So I got lucky and they've picked up every new blog post that I've created. They've picked it up. But that doesn't happen all the time to everyone. So just know that when you create consistent content that's optimized for Google Discover, they may pick it up. But you want to make it easy for them to do that. All right. So that's the second one. Third is I reworked my niche. So previously, I had said made with a twist. I think it said quick and easy patterns for crochet sellers. And I think I was sort of repelling a large swath of audience who would love my super bulky patterns, but they're like, well, I'm not a seller, so it's not for me. And so I reworked my niche to specify made with a twist super bulky patterns for whoever, crocheters who love quick and easy projects, something like that. So I brought that super bulky patterns to the front rather than patterns for sellers to the front. And then I shared that everywhere. So the more you really dial in on your niche and who you are creating patterns for, and the more you communicate that, the more you'll attract the people who want to be on your site. So I changed my tagline. I changed my social media bios. I created a niche opt-in called Big Stitch. It's sort of a hack for using bulky and super bulky yarns, and it has 6 bulky yarn patterns in it. So again, attracting my ideal customer with that opt-in. And I changed the name of my Facebook group from crochet for vendors to super bulky crochet patterns. Not everyone enjoyed that I did that, but I don't care because people aren't going to like everything that you do. So I changed it to super bulky crochet patterns, and that's been a good move so far. I do need to do some work around getting engagement in that group and growing it, but so far so good. That's number 3. So let me just go over again the 3 things that I've gone so far. Created and followed a content schedule, simple optimization for Google Discover, clarified my niche, and communicated it everywhere. Right. 4th one is I got intentional about driving traffic. So with my Made with a Twist email list, I have been sort of neglecting them. And maybe I would email them once a month, maybe once a quarter. Like I just hadn't been engaged with that particular email list. So I started to do more with that list. I updated my welcome series, I updated my opt-in, and I started emailing at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week, and driving traffic to my blog. So what I was doing was I would create a blog post and share that. Then I would create a roundup of blog posts on my website. So if I created, let's just say, a week ago, I created a fingerless gloves pattern. So I shared that on Monday. Then on Wednesday, shared an email to a collection of glove patterns. And then on Friday, I would relaunch something else. So sending 3 emails and giving them reasons to go to my blog 3 times a week rather than 1 time a month. Okay, so this is going to naturally drive traffic. Yes, it did get some people to unsubscribe. It got some people to say I emailed them too much. Again, you got to run your business the way that you want to run your business. So I just decided to do it that way. So far, so good. All right. And then finally, number 5, I got consistent-ish on social media and Pinterest. So I'm still working on this. Consistency is not my forte, but I did, put it into my systems that when I create a blog post, I do post about it on social media. And I am trying to post more consistently, especially on Facebook. I'm trying to post. My goal is to post 5 times a day. I don't always remember, but the more I post on Facebook, the more engagement I do get. So Facebook is really encouraging posting more. So I am giving that a try right now to see how that works. And so going from not posting anything at all to posting several times a day has made a big difference to driving traffic to the blog. So those were the 5 things that I did to go from 8,000 page views to 60,000 page views. Now, do I want more page views than that? Yes. All right. But you don't just automatically get page views because you want them. You have to do the work behind it. And so the reason my blog went dormant was my own fault. And so now I have to put in the work to revive it. And that's fine. I'm not afraid of doing a little bit of work. So the results of using these 5 strategies are traffic increased by almost 800%. Ad revenue increased by about 700%. That's a mortgage payment. So keep that in mind. If you can have a blog that pays for your mortgage and you're not spending 40 hours a week to do it, like that's pretty amazing. So 700% in my ad revenue. Yes, it's getting to be busier season. Yes, RPMs are on the rise. But still, that's a great thing. And then email subscribers increased by 708 last month. So that's a great number. That includes, or that doesn't include those who unsubscribed. So I got about almost 1,000 new subscribers, and then, a third of those unsubscribed, which is, that's the way things go. So, how did it feel to increase traffic? Well, it did increase my workload. So I did have to spend a little bit more time working, which is normal around here for busy season. So I typically do work more during October through December. So that was normal and fine. Let's see. But in the future, I do plan to offload blog processes to my team. So right now it increased my workload, but long term it won't. So we'll get systems written up and things figured out so that the team can take on most of the work, where I'll do the designing and they'll do everything else. And then, yeah, the best part is I've renewed energy and excitement around designing. For a long time I was like, ugh, I don't want to design anything, because my blog wasn't paying off. So it was just feeling like a drag. But now my creative juices are flowing. I'm having fun. I'm coming up with new designs. I have a whole pile over there. Like, sorry about this mess here. We are in the midst of Christmas decorating. I have a pile of stuff over there that I need to get patterns written up for, and get those posted on the blog. So that's exciting. So those are the strategies I use. Now let's talk about long-term strategies that we will be implementing on the blog. I haven't implemented them yet, but the plan is to get these systems written and tested and working for my blog, and then have them going the whole time. Things that I need to do are optimize all of my images. I have 30,000 images on my blog. They need to be resized and compressed. The file names need to be redone with like relevant keywords. And I need to ensure that I have alt tags on everything that needs them. And I need to ensure that my blog is accessible. So that's a priority. Those things need to get done because it does impact the traffic and the web vitals and how quickly things load on the site. Next is update and interlink old content. So links, keywords, photos, updating all of my old patterns with updated formats, updated links, interlinking, getting the SEO right on all of those old blog posts, and then reposting them and hoping Google Discover picks them up. I might, excuse me. Always with the sneezing. I'm sorry. Okay, so updating and interlinking old content. Next is integrating AI search-friendly content. So we have Google search. We all know what Google search is, right? So we know how to create content to meet the needs of Google search. Now we need to start thinking about AI search content. What does that look like? So this is content that answers conversational search queries, like, how do I crochet a hat, right? So you're optimizing that post for the question, right? Rather than for the 5 ways to crochet a hat. You're going to say, how do I crochet a hat? And then you answer it. And then use a lot of headings that are actually questions, because Google search or AI search will pick those up in order to answer questions for people and lead them over to your blog. Now, this is controversial because we don't really want to be training AI to take our content and serve it up to people and then not send them to our blog. So this is tough, and I don't really understand all of it, so I'm not going to tell you that I know it all. I'm just trying to do what I can do and then experiment and see what works. So I'll let you know later how all of this works. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is get really consistent and intentional about nurturing my blog community. So my Facebook group, Super Chunky Crochet Patterns, I'm going to be using it for, yes, sharing patterns, but also engagement and connecting with the group. I do want to maybe host a crochet along or something to get some engagement, some connection going there. Next is strategizing traffic sources, getting really strategic with Pinterest, YouTube. I need to start doing tutorials. So we're setting up a studio in the grandkids' bedroom because, you know, they're not always here. They're rarely here. So that room's just sitting there. We're going to go ahead and get some photography stuff in there. That's why I have those lights down there. All right, so Pinterest, YouTube, email, social media, pattern listing sites, collaborations, blog hops, other sorts of events. All of these things can be used to drive traffic to the blog. So as I work out my calendar for 2026, I'm going to be looking at ways to incorporate all of those strategies. I'm going to keep working on SEO. I'm going to let the existing content work for me. So when your site is optimized for search engines, then it just works for you. People keep finding your content without you having to actively market it so much. So I'll be working on SEO. And that's it. That's my list of things that I'll be doing to continue driving traffic. All right, so if you are concerned about your blog traffic and you want to grow your blog traffic, I want you to pick one of these steps, either one of the 5 that I did last month or one of the long-term strategies that we'll be implementing at Made with a Twist, and implement it this week. It could simply be email your email list one more time a week. So if you email on Mondays, email on Thursdays, something like that. And then share your progress inside the Crochet Business Chat Facebook group so we can encourage you. We can go visit your blog as well, get you some traffic, and maybe even share your projects in our roundups and things. All right. If you found this blog, nice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment so that we can get some traffic and engagement going. Be sure to like this video and visit crochetpreneur.com to see what's new, and happy blogging. That was everything I had for you today. I'm going to go look at the comments real quick for those who are here. Teresa and Kathy and Sarah and Catherine and Jennifer. Hi, everyone. Okay, so Sarah Dawn Design says, something I've been doing is using my blog as email content. My email service can take the blog RSS feed, ingest it, and mail it, which is amazing. Awesome. Are you able, Sarah, to have access to those emails of those people? A lot of times when people send an RSS feed, they don't actually have the contact information of those people, and I really want you to have that contact information. So if you don't, get those people on your actual list. It sounds like you do, though. How much traffic do you think you'd get from Google Discover? I got about at least half of my 60,000 was from Google Discover last month. You're the first person I've ever heard mention it, so I wonder how many people are using it. A lot. So you're not actually using it. Google Discover is using you. All right. So, but if you can pull up your phone right now and open the Google app. All right. And just look. I'll look at it on my phone. All right. If I pull up Google. So I don't know if you can see this. First thing it does is giving me a Netflix. Now it's giving me new episodes. It's giving me news. It's talking about Hobby Lobby, talking about Five Below. It's talking about Court TV. It knows I'm a little bit addicted to court news. Northanger Abbey, because it knows I love Jane Austen. More crafts. So it's giving me news content or blog content specific to what I'm looking for. And so you don't opt into Google Discover, you just create content and Discover finds you. So you have to create the content in a way that it will find it. And so I found that adding my first image, making sure that that's at least 1200 pixels wide, and then creating like actual real content. So the story behind your pattern, being sure that your first paragraph is SEO optimized. Yeah. Just creating quality content. Google Discover loves it. So I think I'll do an entire video about Google Discover, but I got to do more research before I do that. So I don't want to just like talk out of the top of my head. Are you seeing Google Discover in your Google Analytics? Just wondering how you're tracking it. I can show you. Let me pull up you find your Google Discover stats in your search console. So you have analytics set up. Go into Google Search Console, search.google.com. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, where is it? Chrome tab. Here it is. Okay, so you can see that. I'm gonna, maybe I'll just make it full screen, and I'm not sure what it shows. I haven't seen it today. You can see I had a new pattern out this day. When I go over here to my search console, I'll click on Discover, and it shows me, you can see nothing, 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 nothing. All of a sudden I started adding new content to my blog. All right. And this is telling me that this particular pattern in the last 3 months, which actually is a month because I've only been doing it for a month, this pattern got 16,000 clicks over to my blog from Google Discover. This pattern got 7,000. This pattern got 6,000. And then these are brand new patterns, so they don't have as many, but they will build over time. So these are the patterns that I released in the last month, and you can see how much traffic was driven. So it says it brought 35,000 people clicked over to my blog, and my blog has gotten 884,000. That's almost 1 million impressions. All right, this is visibility. This is people getting to see that you actually exist, right? And hopefully they'll click over. This is a 4% click-through rate. That's, I mean, I think it's pretty good. So, so it's great information. When you post, this is what I do when I post a brand new piece of content. Usually I come to this site, I'll inspect the URL. So I posted a new piece of content yesterday, so I can search that URL and it'll tell me, is it being indexed? It is. Right after I posted it, I searched and it wasn't indexed yet. So Google didn't even know it existed. So I put in the URL here, and you have to have a slash at the end. I made that mistake before. So you can see this is the URL that I'm looking for. And it said, oh, we don't even know this blog post exists. So then you request indexing. And it said, sure, we'll index it as soon as we can. And usually they get it indexed by the end of the day. And so now it's indexed and people can find it on Google, and Google Discover can start sharing it with other people. So I always go in when I post a brand new blog post, I'll come in here and then request indexing. So I don't have to wait for Google to find it in a couple days. I want it to get indexed as quickly as possible. Yeah, so search.google.com. That's where you're going to find this information. And then here's your Discover button right there. And again, here's your top pages. And then here's your Discover appearance. I don't know what that means. I always just look here. So I can see, you know, this was like my most popular pattern of the ones that I just launched. I'm hoping these ones start to take off, but we'll see. So yeah, and I hope it starts listing my brand new pattern. So that's the deal. That's Google Discover. So I'm going to remove that. Where am I? There I am. There we go. All right. Are you seeing? Okay. Sorry for the delay on chat. I think I'm a bit behind, but yes, I do have them on my email. The one thing it doesn't do is help the blog spread further, but that's okay. All right, perfect. So that's Google Discover. Again, I will do a bigger post on that, a bigger video on that, to talk specifically about how to optimize your entire website for Google Discover, and then optimize each individual blog post for Google Discover. So that's coming down the road after I learn a little bit more about it as well. So I think that's it. I got a busy day today. I'm in 2 blog hops, 2 bundle sales, and I have a free vault of information for crochet business owners, or for crocheters. A bunch of designers inside of Crochetpreneur Business Academy got together and put together a bundle of free opt-ins. So that goes live today. So I got to keep an eye on all of that stuff. If you're interested, I'll just put a link here. Crochet Lovers Vault is what it's called. And basically, it's a portal of 32 free opt-ins from different designers. You opt in to get the vault, and then inside the vault, you can opt into each individual thing. So while there's 32 opt-ins, you get to pick and choose which ones you want, and that way you're sort of saying, yes, I want to follow this designer. And so you'll get added to that person's email list, but not everyone's email list. And then, of course, you can unsubscribe if you want to at any point. So, but it's just a way for you to get to know maybe some new designers or connect with some designers that you know and love, but you're not on their list yet. So check that out if you are interested. And I think that's everything. I am going to let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back next week with another episode of Crochet Business Chat. And in the meantime, go join the Crochet Business Chat Facebook group and let us know how we can support you. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.